Welcome to Tough Crowd. Folks, Iraq, the elections, the sniper, this news is serious, of course, but it gets a little repetitive, let's face it. Plus, the day is almost over, there's a half hour left. If you miss something crucial, it's going to be tomorrow by the time you can do something about it, so who cares? You know? So what I did was I had several audience members tell me some personal stories of theirs, and I made it into tonight's monologue, and here it is. Because I think the best way to look at life is not from TV or newspapers, but through the prism of the people that live it, okay? So let's start. People say the economy is bouncing back, but don't tell that to Jeff Anderson. His boss was yelling at him over the phone, so he blew a foghorn can into the phone and quit, and walked over to the unemployment office. Maybe you can get a job on Crank Yankers, Jeff. Now, the California fires have stopped, but Tony Baez was visiting her mom in the house filled with smoke, but they didn't leave because they weren't officially evacuated. Don't try to break up with her, boys. She don't scare off too easy. In crime news, Jeff Cairns, a San Francisco cop, got into a fight at the courthouse with a robbery suspect who didn't like the verdict. Mr. Cairns is recovering nicely in the studio audience here in New York City. In war news, Maura Alexander's brother just got back from the army in Iraq, and on the downside, of course, she got dumped by some guy because he said she's too young for him. Meanwhile, he's 26 and she's 21. That's a big age difference. What about Paris Hilton was 19 and Rick Solomon? Well, that's a bad example. But let's start the show. That was fun, you know? Congress is proposing a law that will allow the police to collect DNA profiles from people arrested as opposed to those convicted of crimes. The ACLU is saying DNA contains genetic information, should be kept private. I mean, let's face it, at this point, the ACLU looks for the case that'll piss people off the most, and then they take it. Is that what's happening?
You can take a person's DNA for the purpose of trying to see if they're in the crime, if they were convicted of, if they were involved in the crime. But if they are not convicted, that stuff has to be destroyed. They cannot keep it for the record.
You're saying so you can keep it to check them out, but
they're
you can't keep it forever.
And they're acting like it's difficult to destroy this stuff.
You know,
I've never had a problem destroy. I destroy DNA every night. I throw the.
That's what I say.
I throw the tissue into the wastebasket.
Any opportunity for me to masturbate into a cup, I'm okay with. So that's the same thing.
All right, let's move on. What about this drug raid at the high school in South Carolina? Here's the surveillance camera, and the officials and parents are outraged. The kids are handcuffed. Watch this. Here goes the cops. Ready? They come running in and busting out. There's a guy in the army uniform. Look at that. Now they're busting over there. Oh, no. Look at this.
Yeah.
Here he goes. He threw him down with the old cop knee technique they got, you know? Cairns, what do you think of this? Look, we have a live San Francisco cop here, but it's South Carolina, but, you know, we don't know. Now, look, after all this, they didn't find drugs. It was a drug raid. They got called by the principal. Now, what do you guys think about this? Good, bad, or Rich?
See, me, I'm old school. I remember the days of 21 Jump Street. I think we should send in Dustin Gwen and Peter DeLuise. They probably need the work, and no one's going to recognize them.
Even I thought that was a little much. This isn't Crete High School.
Now, you had a recent incident with a guy with a gun in your face. What happened?
Recent, a few years ago.
Cops went after you.
Yeah, my buddy's car got stolen, and then he got it back, but they failed to take it off the computer.
Right.
So we were driving up to Maine to some family cookout. Next thing you know, we have 8 state troopers chasing us.
I didn't even know they had computers in Maine. What the hell is that all about? They really were targeting you, weren't they?
No. So what happened?
And they pulled us over, and 6 cops got out, you know, with their guns drawn, and, you know, I crapped my pants, so I sort of feel bad for these colored kids.
So is that where they got the DNA?
Let's see.
What was that, Mr. Carter?
All right. I'm watching you, Carter. Mr. Woodman, no?
I'm a funny guy.
That was good.
Let's move on. The Japanese government balks at giving American military who committed crimes more legal privileges than its own citizens, so Rumsfeld has to go to Japan and deal with this. It's becoming a big, urgent matter in the eyes of the U.S. Personally, I think that, of course, Japan is one of the rights, because we let Robert Durst chop somebody's body up and let him go. But you were in the Army, Ross. You're a patriot and an Army man. How long were you in the Army?
When I was in Knox, Fort Knox.
Did you ever go to Japan?
No, I never got out of Kentucky. But the point is that, I know what it's like in your off-duty hours to get a little frisky.
Sure.
Because, you're working off a little bit of steam,
Sure.
Sometimes maybe you shoplift something, maybe there's a little bit of a group rape, okay? But what happens is that the locals, you don't want to have...
I was going to do that when he said it, but I didn't have the water in my mouth, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it was the principle of the thing. We'll cut it together.
Great timing.
That's tremendous.
Wipe your chin, will you? Jesus.
Well, it's not like, hey, you don't like, Will
I
Ferrell is
keep
like a nice
looking
guy to
at you,
work.
and it's like looking at like a retarded Treat Williams.
Oh, my God.
And I just
You know what I like? This is, and I have a lot. Let me just say something. This is the part of the show, which, by the way, I swear to God, I love this show. But this is the part of it I hate. It's like dumb people when they get together. Instead, they're just going for something personal. Instead of arguing about the issue, hey, you're fat and black, like retarded Tree Williams. What about Tree Williams?
That's what we like.
Yeah,
That's
we
what we
should.
like.
Not you, him.
Why don't you go to hang out with Janine or something? This is what we do here.
The bottom line is this. You're not going to tell us any good Army stories? How about the time they tried to rape the general's son?
Yeah, tell us that don't ask, don't tell story.
He was in the barracks. He had to save the general's son from getting raped in Kentucky. The guys came from Detroit. They were scared. They came down and had their penises out. And then Ross was the big savior of the day. Meanwhile, the general's son, as you said, he probably wanted it. Is that what you're telling me the other day? Didn't you say he ended up being...
First off, they do ask you when you go in. They sat you at a table and they go, have you ever had sexual contact with a male? And I said, well, how do you do?
I was just acting like you probably were acting in 1970, whatever.
I said, well, what do you consider sexual contact? And then I had to go to another room, and they spoke to me for a while.
You go watch these messages created especially for your demographic. I'll stay here alone with these people.
This program is brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters.
The holidays are coming fast, and so are gifts that go from your Honda dealer. All with straight deals featuring 0 down payment, 0 payments for 3 months, and 6.9% fixed APR financing for up to 60 months on any new Honda. Plus great values like the best-selling 350cc Rancher starting at $38.99 and CRF starting at $11.99. So you better get going before the gifts that go are all gone.
What were we thinking about when we gave the Kia Sedona a powerful standard engine? What were we thinking about when we gave it such a great warranty and priced it thousands less than our competitors? What were we thinking about when we designed it to get the government's highest safety rating? What were we thinking? We were thinking about Scotty, Nanny, Poppy, Uncle Larry, Derek, Eric, Dad, and Mr. Mophead. The always family-friendly Kia Sedona. Get remaining 03 Sedonas from $18,615 after $2,000 cash back, plus $1,500 owner loyalty bonus for qualified buyers.
This fall, prepare yourself for the total Terminator experience. You are the ultimate weapon. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Rated T for teen.
On November 26th, turn back time.
You accidentally discovered time travel.
Yes.
Everybody take cover now! Kill them! Let's go!
Somebody's trying to come back. So are you saying they could be stuck there forever?
Timeline. Rated PG-13, November 26th.
Strike.
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 Strike. Strike.
Strike. The Entertainment Underground. Union Turnpike, New Hyde Park.
Criminal justice.
one of the fastest growing career opportunities. Briarcliff College can get you there. The Criminal Justice Program at Briarcliff can prepare you for an important career where you can make a difference. Financial aid available for those who qualify. Call 800-906-3200. That's 800-906-3200.
Oh, Disney or Miramax, I don't know. They got this Miracle of 34th Street aberration starring Billy Bob Thornton, and some of the executives outraged, claiming the movie is not in the spirit of Walt Disney. Let's take a look.
It's not real.
Well, it was real. I got sick and all my hair fell out.
How'd you get sick?
I loved a woman that wasn't clean.
Mrs. Santa?
That was her sister.
Oh, no. Now, let's never mind that, aside from being controversial, it's like an SNL sketch that got cut after Dress in the 80s. But it's one of those rebelling just to be rebellious type things, if you ask me. It's also fuel for the fire, because anti-Semites will say, they'd never make a movie about a rabbi that goes on a killing spree in Hanukkah. Would you? And, or they might say, an imam that goes on a killing spree during Ramadan, not counting this year. The point is this: is Santa sacred, Todd?
I thought that no, and also no. I mean, yes, whatever. I'm the guy who wants to agree with everybody.
Quit trying to get in good. The crowd doesn't like it, and Ross doesn't like it.
Well, no, I think the crowd's all right.
I didn't say they weren't all right. I said they don't like it.
No, I think they do.
All right, go ahead.
I think that I was more surprised that Disney. What are you laughing at?
I don't know.
I'm nervous. I'm on TV. I was more surprised that Disney acted like they were appalled, because they really don't care. Because if it really bothered them, they would have pulled the movie. Like, if there was child molestation in the movie, they found out about it, they would go, we're pulling it. So they've proven that they really don't care, which is just that they try to act like they do. So pull the movie.
Forget about bad Santa. How about bad priest?
Yeah,
At least Santa's having sex with a woman, not a 12-year-old altar boy, you know?